Now let's have a look on the changeover process itself. To change from one software to another is always an investment in time and money. And so let's have a look what opportunities there are for you to react on the closure of Color and the end of Pano2 Pro and the end of its output. Pano2 Pro is based on Krpano code, so everything what Pano2 Pro does can be done in the code of Krpano. Krpano is a framework. It consists of several files and an engine, and there is in fact no real user interface you can interact with to create a tour right from Krpano. Everything you need is to code. And the learning curve is quite steep. I will come back to this a little bit later. You can switch to another software and learn another software. For example, you can use 3D Vista. It is an offline app. It is very old and it gained some momentum in the last time, especially after the closure of Color. They put some significant effort and development to get 3D Vista on par with current software like Pano2 Pro and Pano2 VR. They are not there, but 3D Vista is software it's worthwhile to keep an eye on. So they are not there, but they are not on par with Pano2 Pro. So it's not the real alternative, but for simple projects, it might be nice to have a look on 3D Vista. Based on Krpano code, there is an online system called CMS for VR, which tries to mimic some stuff Pano2 Pro is able to do on its user interface, but it's an online solution. The app is running online. It's a part of your delivery. You get an engine, install it online, and it is underlying on your project. And it is a model with a kind online hosting and online app. You host it for yourself, not on a third party, but you're dependent on an online system. And as I mentioned, privacy and security issues might come into account when you use CMS to VR. And it is from the feature portfolio is as 3D Vista, it's not there where Pano2 Pro and Pano2 VR are standing now. The main alternative is Pano2 VR. So the way learning another software as a replacement of Pano2 Pro, Pano2 VR is the master candidate, and I will focus in this tutorial series on Pano2 VR and how to get the features you are used to with Pano2 Pro to run in Pano2 VR. Let's have a closer look to the mentioned alternative apps, starting with 3D Vista. 3D Vista is, as I said, quite old. It was kind of sleeping a long time, but they gained momentum in the last month, and it is an offline app. It is running on Mac or Windows. There's no coding necessary or even possible. It has a built-in stitcher, what's a little bit unique, but the feature set is smaller than for PTP. CMS2VR, I mentioned, is an online app system, mixture between hosting the engine on your own server and working online and having all this stuff on your web server, but you're dependent on a third-party system. The online app is, as I said, running on your own server, but it's no online service. It's platform independent, it runs in the browser window, and it's working on the Krpano code base. What they are doing with this code base isn't open till now, so it might be a heavy issue for people who want to develop. It is no coding necessary. The Krpano code base is hidden from the user, which stands for nice usability. But as I said, it's not open for developers until now. I think they planned something like that, but it's not open now. The feature set is currently smaller than for Pano2 Pro, but they are, as a 3D Vista people, are working hard to get it richer and richer. But up to now, it's not really comparable to the Pano2 Pro. Pano2 VR, as the most significant competitor for Pano2 Pro, as it was in the past or at the time, it's an offline app. It runs on Mac, Windows, and Linux. There is no coding necessary. Everything is working behind the user interface, but you can code as you like. The feature set is more extensive than with Pano 2 Pro. So it's not only a change for you when you switch from Pano 2 Pro to Pano 2 VR. This is a kind of an upgrade. And you have more access to function details than with Pano 2 Pro. I will come back to this later. The approach of Pano 2 VR is more granular. You can have access to much more detailed functions and features than you have with Pano 2 Pro's plugin architecture. Pano 2 VR isn't based on any third-party framework like Krpano, which was the underlying engine under Color's Pano 2 Pro. Pano 2 Pro was a product of two different companies. Krpano was delivering the engine, and Color made the user interface to build the code for you. Pano 2 VR is based on standard code, HTML5, JavaScript, CSS. Every seasoned web developer is able to do stuff with the code, which is outputted by Pano 2 VR, and this is a major feature. And you have, as I said before, there's no coding necessary but possible. You have external access to code based on simple web technologies, and it's very low level. If you are using a web technology, especially JavaScript, it's possible to interact with Pano 2 VR project, and you can extend it to really serious features.